What's good, you guys? You know who it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back like I never left this mother. Yes, Sirski. Hello, somebody. All right, so, man, you guys, man, we got Dave Chappelle revealing why Hollywood eliminated Malcolm Jamal Warner. That's the title of today's video, you guys.
Made me feel inspired and really good. And he was always real nice to me. He'd sit me down, what's going on with you, baby boy? What? We talk about comedy, whatever.
And we do have some breaking news to report, and it's extremely sad. Malcolm Jamal Warner, the actor most famous for his role as Bill Cosby's son, Theodore Huxtable, on the NBC hit sitcom The Cosby Show in the 80s and early 90s, has died.
The details about Malcolm Jamal's...
You know, I was at work the other day, and we was talking about this situation with Malcolm. And believe it or not, a lot of people growing up watching the Cosby Show, they really thought that was Bill Cosby's real son. Actually, I did too growing up when I was a little younger.
Death are getting messier by the day, and it just got a whole lot worse after Dave Chappelle came out of drowning. He was taken out after refusing to sell his soul. If y'all remember, Dave was in a similar situation back in the day, and the only reason why he made it out alive was because he ran to a whole different continent without telling his own family his whereabouts. At the time, people laughed in his face and called him all types of crazy, only for it to end up being true. Unfortunately for Malcolm, he thought just saying no would be enough, but if there's one thing Dave and Cat Williams have taught us, is that you cannot say no to selling yourself without them attempting to take you out. Malcolm lost his life about a week ago while swimming in Costa Rica, and according to reports, a current pulled him deeper into the ocean. Him along with another man were rescued by bystanders, but Malcolm didn't make it. They performed CPR on him and even had the Costa Rican Red Cross come in to treat him, but after 45 minutes, he was declared dead at the scene. TMZ dropped an exclusive footage of Malcolm of when he initially arrived at Costa Rica, and from the looks of it, he really looked like he was looking forward to having a good time and eventually going back home with his family, but some higher-ups he turned down had other plans for him. In fact, folks didn't believe that whole accident stuff at all, and they even started speculating that some foul play was involved.
Bro. What? The actor Malcolm Jamal Warner has died. First of all, rest in peace to him. He seemed like a very stand-up guy, positive role model. But I looked into this whole thing and it gets weird. First, let's start with the age he died at, which is 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. You guys know about my 9 videos, and 9 is the number of completion. But also, the show that he was famous for, The Cosby Show, in gematria equals up to 54 as well. Then let's go to the date he actually died on, which is July 20th, which is the 201st day of the year. Yeah, can anybody tell me why The Cosby Show ran for a total of 8 seasons, equaling 201 episodes?
Wow.
How? In which?
Bro, these conspiracy theorist people, bro, they be having on lock. I wonder how do they just sit around and think about these things, bro? It's pretty fascinating how they come up with these things, bro. I'm not gonna hold you.
Is the same number as this event, Event 201, which was a simulation of COVID in October of 2019, right before they actually had COVID. Something tells me that we have to watch for this number in future events. Now, speaking of 9 and 201, Ozzy Osbourne has just died as well. He just performed his last concert just a couple weeks ago called Back to the Beginning, which is an odd title like they almost knew. But here's the thing. The attendance of that venue is 45,000. 4 plus 5 is 9. Now, you could call that coincidence, but here's the thing. His full name in gematria is also 201. What are the chances, right? Make sure you guys get into my Break the Matrix community because I have a whole decode section just for stuff like this.
The main reason why folks believe to this day that someone
broke
had a
that down
hand in
for
his
real.
death is because just days prior to him going on that vacation to Costa Rica, he was actually trending online for exposing some dark secrets in the industry, specifically about some higher-up offering him millions of dollars to be in movies and projects that went against everything he believed in. Basically, they wanted him to sell his soul in exchange for millions, but according to Malcolm, he wasn't rocking with it and turned it down.
I think I was very fortunate coming out the gate with Cosby, which put me in a position where, and because I've always had a good team around me, I've always been in a position where I've had the luxury of being meticulous about the kind of roles that I choose. My mom was really really instrumental in getting me to understand the concept of longevity, the concept of being versatile within this business, because she would always say, if you look at anyone in this business who's had longevity, there are times when they've been hot and times where they've not been hot. You have to decide what you're going to do during those times when you're not hot, so you're not making desperate acting choices.
Facts. That's the truth right there.
I've been fortunate enough to I've always had the financial wherewithal to be meticulous about the kind of work that I do. So I have a body of work that I will never have to be embarrassed by. Now, there may be some work I might be embarrassed because I might have been whack, but there's nothing in my body of work that I'll ever have to be embarrassed in that I misrepresented my people, or I have continue to perpetuate stereotypes of our people. I've been very fortunate to be able to, pick and choose. I've never had to take a role that I felt would compromise my soul.
What's even crazier is that Malcolm wasn't the only celebrity who had recently.
That's what most people in Hollywood success come from them selling their soul, and we all know it. We all know it. It's rituals that they take to get to the next level. And the minute you don't take that ritual, it seems like the level that you're on, you don't sell your soul, you kind of be stagnated there.
Come out to reveal that they had been offered a deal to sell their soul, so this made people even more suspicious about the whole thing. In fact, Chloe Bailey also recently came out to talk about how she was also given a deal to sell her soul in exchange for a huge career. She revealed this on Live after someone asked her if she had seen Sinners, and baby, she said a lot.
Did you see Sinners? Yes, I saw Sinners. It was phenomenal. I absolutely freaking loved it. Can I be honest? After Sinners, I cried. Do you want to know why I cried? Yes or no? Or you're just like, Chloe, you cried because you're a crybaby. Just tell me. Okay, so I think anyone who... It just reminds you so much of the industry, right? And it's like, you could have a gift like he did with his guitar. And like they said, when he's singing, he's honoring his ancestors and uplifting and all of that, but then it also attracts the not good. So it's like, in order for him to be successful, the vampires were telling him he has to sell out so that he could be, so that he could live forever and his music could live forever. And it's exactly like things that I see and go through every day. And that's why I just like broke down crying, because it was showing like the people who decided not to go to the other side, they were in there fighting for their lives, they were in there going through it, while the ones who did give in, they were outside celebrating and having a good time and got things quicker and things like that. So the reason why Sinners resonated with me so much is because it's something that you see every day, and no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how talented you are, sometimes that's not enough to get you places that you need to be. And that's why Sinners, like, I was crying right after, because I feel like anyone in the industry could really resonate with it. And it also showed that what you have to give negativity permission to be inside. And as long as you don't invite it in, you'll be okay and safe. So that's why I really resonated with Sinners. And I thought it was so beautiful. I thought it was done so beautifully. And I'm just really proud of everyone who was a part of it. And I even cried when he was singing in the bar, and you see all the different, the history, all of the ancestors that came before us, that he wouldn't have been there to make music and play his guitar without the ones that came before him. So I feel like anyone who has a gift and has something that they truly, truly love, but feels like it's not coming to them in the time that they want it, because they're moving in the right way, where they don't like give in, it's harder.
Yes,
and then
it
you
is.
have like so many things
It's
tempting
harder, of
around
course.
you, like the vampire. So it was so deep. It was so deep. That's the reason I cried for like a whole hour after.
When this mess
whole
came up, a lot of
hour,
folks
dang.
couldn't help but bring up Dave Chappelle because Malcolm and Chloe's story is literally giving Dave Chappelle 2.0, except that unlike Malcolm, he lived long enough to tell the story. And even then, people called him crazy and had him fighting for his dignity on the tabloids. Dave's situation went down back in 2006 when he appeared in a heated interview with Oprah Winfrey after rejecting a $50 million deal with Comedy Central. Dave said that there were some shady things that came with the deal that he wasn't comfortable with, and that's why he turned it down. But while he was spilling all this tea, Oprah kept interrupting him and forcing him to admit to having some form of mental illness, which he didn't have. The crazy thing is, she started pushing these mental illness allegations on him right when he revealed that some Hollywood executives tried to force him to take antipsychotic medication.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay. When you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see before, look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah, we hear those stories.
Wow,
And it
yep.
always happens
Those
around
old
the time
stories,
of
but
their
that's
career where
facts.
it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No, not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I felt like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress. And I didn't tell anybody where I was going. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane.
They do everybody
They're
like
trying
that.
to get me to take psychotic medication. Yeah. Like I'm sitting around, I was stressed out, but the people that were telling me I was insane, I believe that they knew what was going on. So, this was troublesome.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you or maybe discredit you. I was afraid,
But you were stressed out. That's
there's
why.
no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you and say, you're insane.
Now, just for a little context, Dave made the headlines back in 2005 when he suddenly ditched season 3 of the Chappelle Show while it was still in production and ran away to South Africa without giving any valid reason for his decision. As soon as he left, the media started working overtime to ruin his reputation and label him as a mentally unstable person. They flooded the tabloids with claims about him being on and having manic episodes. Dave repeatedly denied these claims, but the media was just not letting up and people were eating it up. He tried to defend himself so many times, including his interview with the New York Times, where he said, "I'm not crazy, I'm not smoking crack, I'm definitely stressed out. There were things that overwhelmed me, but not in the way that people are saying." So not only were they trying to get Dave to sell his soul and go against his personal beliefs, but the moment he stood his ground, they came at him so hard that he had to jet off to a whole other country because he was scared for his life. But as I said, it wasn't just Dave that went through this. Cat Williams went through it too, and people are convinced that Malcolm would have gone through it if he had made it out alive. If y'all remember, Jaguar claimed some time ago that Cat almost got unalived when armed men broke into his house in the middle of the night. No one knows how Cat made it out alive, but according to Jaguar, Cat was so scared that he used to wear Kevlar to sleep every night. Now, for those of y'all who don't know what a Kevlar is, it's a form of proof vest.
And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house. Wow. And I left. Back in that moment, Cat was still wearing Kevlar to bed. To bed. I would get in bed with him at night and he would have Kevlar on. Wow. In bed.
If all these allegations about Malcolm are true, then Chloe and every other celebrity who has been given the opportunity to sell out need to tread lightly because these people are not playing around. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said Oprah knew exactly what he was talking about. Looks like she's a little uncomfortable with him talking about this stuff, the way she scratched her neck all nervously, because she knows they are doing sick stuff and she's part of the club. Another person said, when I heard that, I immediately thought something was wrong. Different narratives mean something was done. We'll see. see. Furthermore, I find it hard to believe that he would choose to take his family there to swim or go out far himself and leave his daughter at the shore by herself. Where was his wife? Sounds like a convenient story to me. Who was the other guy? But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Dave Chappelle exposing the real truth behind Malcolm's death? And do you think Malcolm was really taken out or he actually drowned like they say? Let me know your...
Wow, bro. I think Malcolm was taken out, bro. They said he didn't have on any swimming gear, no floaty devices, nothing, bro. None of that. If I am mistaken, I think they say he didn't know how to swim. To be quite honest, but I guess it's the current. And who was the other guy? The other guy had to be there as well. But Malcolm was the one that didn't make it out, bro. The higher ups has a way of doing things and using people and sacrificing people and covering up, and they're going to make you think that you're crazy at some point. Once you reject their offers, or once they use you up and then they're no longer using your service or need you anymore, they bring up the next soul that they're going to manipulate, make them sell their soul, and then make you seem like you're crazy, bro. It happens all the time. It's a repeated cycle.